I will take questions from groups on cycling first, and then if there are any questions on other matters of the Mayor's oral update, we'll come to those.
Thank you.
So, Assembly Member Pidgeon.
Mr Mayor, at the Cycling Vision launch last week, Transport for London proudly explained how they took just 18 months to install a cycle lane on a really straightforward bit of road. 18 months. London can't wait 18 months for you to correct some of the issues on Cycle Superhighway 2 and some of the other dangerous junctions in London. What are you going to do to speed up this urgent work on the highway?
Well, we are doing an awful lot, and as I say, I think it's very, very important to continue with the Cycle Superhighway programme. We are not going to be deflected from that. I mean, there are people out there who would like to use this the current spate of accidents as a justification for saying that we should have fewer cyclists on the roads. I absolutely reject that approach. I will not be deflected from our course, which is to encourage more cycling in London. And to that end, we will continue to invest in the transport infrastructure that we need.
But how long it's taking,
to give you an example
how long
of
it's taking. 18 months, maybe fast for traffic engineers. It's not fast enough for ordinary Londoners who want to be cycling but want to cycle safely. So what are you doing to speed up the works that are urgently needed on the roads in London?
Well, to give you a couple of examples, we are from next year we will be constructing a cycle superhighway from Elephant and Castle over Blackfriars to King's Cross, which will be very largely segregated. It will be an extraordinary new cycle superhighway for London. As you know, we're also consulting now on the east-west cycle superhighway, which will run more or less from the city along the embankment up through to the Westway. It will be the longest continuous urban cycle superhighway in Europe. And you ask what I personally am doing. Well, I would just point out that I can't remember how long you've been serving on this assembly, Carol. I think it's just you came in when I did. But there were no cycle superhighways at all during a period in which cycle fatalities were running at a much higher rate. And I humbly point out that actually, if you look at our record over the last 5 years, we have shifted heaven and earth to get these things installed. They are not easy to do.
I'm not sure you have, Mr Mayor. It's not fast enough, and that's the issue. 2 years ago, we talked about reviewing dangerous junctions in London. We've seen a handful of changes put in place. I think you, as Chair of Transport for London, need to make sure the officers there start working at the pace that Londoners want them to, rather than in their traffic engineer world that seems to take years and years for the smallest change to happen.
I must reject completely what you say, because I think they've worked extremely fast and extremely well. And it is very easy to put in substandard or inadequate schemes and then be forced, because they've been badly researched and badly thought through, to take them out again. That is not what we want to do, and we want to make sure that what we do lasts and produces genuine improvements for London. I think, I know that others will want to come in.
Mr Mayor, you need to start taking some responsibility here and getting things to be done quicker where they can be safely for cyclists in London.
I appreciate that you need to try to score points about this, Caroline, but
it's not scoring points.
I really think if you look at the record and you look at what we have done over the last 5 years, I really don't think anybody could credibly say that we have not put cycling safety and put cycling at the forefront of our ambitions. And to the best of my knowledge, there were no cycle superhighways before I became mayor. I'm pleased that we're getting on with the programme, and we're getting on with them as fast as
Well, we'll get into the detail, I think, in December at Transport Committee. Thank you, Chair.